Welcome to season 4 of On Top the Cage.
4 seasons already.
I know, not canceled yet.
No.
Same lineup. Dan's here to my left. I'm Ken. You know us. Speaking of that stuff, we will have guest pickers and appearances throughout the year. I'm sure Mark the mechanic will show up once or twice.
Oh, yeah. He's already begging.
Yeah. My buddy Shannon, he 100% is going to be on the show. He's been talking about being on the show for probably 3 years. It hasn't happened. We're going to make it happen this year. Shannon.
We're definitely talking soccer that day.
That's Shane, not Shannon.
Oh, Shane.
That's a different person. So my father-in-law, Tom, he's coming up in September, and then he comes up for the holidays. He likes to sit behind the camera and give his perspective. He doesn't like necessarily to be on it, but we'll see if we can coax him.
Actually, one of my buddies, he wants to be on the show.
Who?
His name's Randy. His son's the quarterback at Jackson, sophomore.
Oh, nice. Bring him on.
Yeah.
We take guests. They come for at least one time. We'll make a decision whether or not they come back again, depending on the performance, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of that, Mark's was so polarizing. I remember the first time he was on here. It went from that guy's got to be on the show every week to there's a homeless guy that ended up on the set tonight. The range was very, very far-fetched, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, not much change to set. There is an additional TV over Dan's left shoulder, and that's because this year the NFL Sunday Ticket is on YouTube. And the delay from local channels to getting to YouTube is a little bit of a problem for me. I don't like to miss it all.
That's bullshit. You put that up so you could watch soccer.
No, I've been watching quite a bit of soccer. My wife has become this huge Lionel Messi fan. Dan and I regularly watch The Crew.
Yes.
Speaking of that stuff, usually the MLS season's Wednesday and Saturday games for the most part. But we are not on our traditional shoot night. We are on Tuesday because of Dan's youth football schedule, right?
Yep. This year we're practicing Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and it used to be Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. And so to appease my wife, I'm going to be home on Wednesday instead of over here drinking with Ken.
I thought she would mandate Wednesdays. I didn't know. Maybe she does like you, Dan.
Yeah, no. It makes my life easier. She still hates that I go and spend time with kids that aren't mine.
Yeah, fair enough. I know. Dan and I were talking about this the other day about having our own youth football team, and we'd have to call it our little town's called Green, the Green Predators, since Dan and I, neither of us would have a child on the team.
There's actually a 7th grade team that's being coached by 2 guys with no kids on the team.
No way.
Yeah.
Are they the Predators?
No. They're still the Bulldogs.
Shoot. Oh, goodness. All right. If you guys are new to the show, first of all, where have you been? 2, this show is a little bit different. This is our season prediction show. Tonight, we're going to go through all the team. Well, we're going to talk about, get you up to speed with the National Football League, rule changes, retirements, player changes, things like that. And then we're going to go through all the divisions, talk about all 32 of the teams, pick our division winners, conference winners, Super Bowl winners, and see how it shakes come our last show in February, which will be the Super Bowl show. So the normal format, though, is, Dan and I bullshitting for the first 15 minutes.
We're good at that.
We are good at that. We review a few beers, or review a different beer each week, and then we pick all the games against the spread. So, but anyway, a little bit different show tonight. So, you ready for the beer review before we do the rest of our bullshitting and get into football?
I'm ready.
I was talking about
I'm kind of thirsty.
All right, it is called Surf the Slope. I'm a very themey person. I picked it because Dan and I will be here from the rest of summer through a good chunk of winter. Surf the Slope makes sense, right? From Masthead, one of my favorite breweries.
Yes, it is. We've done several Mastheads.
What do we got here, Dan?
A New Zealand-style Pilsner, 5% alcohol by volume.
Uh-oh. That's why we have a season prediction show. I put them in the freezer earlier. That could be the problem. I'm not positive. Be careful, Dan, when you open it.
I'm trying to read what's in it.
Good, do that, because my eyes are not good enough for that. Speaking of that, my buddy Josh loves Pilsners. He works out of one of our Cleveland office, and actually Masthead is right across the street from it. So,
brewed with Hop Revolution Nelson Sauvin.
What is that word?
Sauvin.
I don't think I got all my beer. Oh, no, I did.
Pacific Sunrise hops, fermented cold to yield a crisp lager with bright tropical and white wine notes.
That's a lot.
What the
That's a
hell
lot.
did you
That's a lot.
buy?
I don't know. Be careful when you open, is all I know.
white wine.
So my buddy Josh, it's for him. He likes he likes
Oh
Pilsners.
no, mine did it too.
Oh shit.
On your new carpet.
Yeah, I did put
Happy
new carpet
Father's
down
Day.
here. Holy shit. Too much ice, too much freezing. See, this is why we have the initial show.
Holy smokes.
I did get a new glass like 2
Jeez,
weeks
if
ago.
somebody walked in, they'd think I pissed my pants over here.
Like 2 weeks ago, I knocked my glass over that sits out here in one of the cabinets in the garage. I had to get a new one from those Etsy people, those very creative Etsy people. So that's my new glass. I'm going in. What do you think?
I don't know if it tastes like a Pilsner or an IPA.
I don't know.
It's got a fruity taste to it. It does not taste like white wine.
I'm an IPA
God.
guy. I'm not a Pilsner guy. So I don't know. And as traditions is on the season prediction show, we always do a little beer shot, or at least we have since last year. We are going to continue that tradition as my wife is in the background right now pouring them for us, which is awesome. Thank you, Katie. So anyway, youth football, how's it going? Dan, what are we, week 2?
Yeah, we are in week 2. We little change of format. We're used to having 2 grades combined, but the league went to just 1 grade. So we have all 6th graders. We only have 18. We have 18 kids. 1 kid actually got hurt. We were scrimmaging a 7th grade team. Real muddy conditions. I thought he just twisted his ankle, but he ended up chipping a bone in his ankle. So he's out 4 weeks in a walking cast.
Dude.
Our first game, and really, we had a crap week of practice leading up to our first game because of
Sounds like a lot of excuses.
it. Well, practice. You play like you practice. So we didn't practice at all. So we played like shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We got our asses waxed.
You're going to fix
6th
that
graders.
week 2, right?
It's
You're going to
fixed.
fix that.
It's already fixed.
You guys probably see me doing all
I
the-
actually dug out my whistle. I was
Yeah.
that pissed.
Yeah?
Yeah. I haven't used a whistle in 10 years.
People running laps? What
No,
are we doing?
people-
Anybody
people-
puke?
people
Anybody
are
puke at
running.
practice?
We haven't puked yet.
No
but
puking at practice
We're
yet?
doing a lot of tackling drills. But yeah, we are 0-1, and that's going to be corrected this weekend.
Speaking of that's awesome. That Dan says it's going to be fixed. We'll
It'll be
give you the
fixed.
update next week in week 1. But we'll see if the shoot night goes back to Wednesday after the football season.
Oh,
ends. I
it'll go
think-
back after.
They go back to Wednesday?
Oh, yes.
We'll figure it out. You probably see me doing all kinds of weird things with my shoulders. I have a wild shoulder. I think I have a pinched nerve, actually. So I've been to the chiropractor a few times. I went to
Okay, Deshaun, where'd you go?
I went to chiropractor a few times, and then I went to this masseuse that my wife has been to, and that I think your wife's been to, and it's in Dan's work building here, right up the street.
Yes, she is in my building at
So,
work.
her
Yeah,
name's Lauren. She has very, very strong hands.
I've never been there.
I'm not. I didn't know that you could rent a space that small.
Oh my God! I told you. I didn't. Did you fit on her table in there?
Yeah, I'm tall. I'm like 6'6". No, I don't know. I'm not really. For the most part, though. But no, she was very good. But yeah, Deshaun would not have been happy with the accommodations in there.
Oh my
Like
God!
it was tight.
I don't know how he rents that space or what her rent is, but I've been over there to buy gift certificates for my wife, and to walk in there, I'm claustrophobic just to walk in there. I
It's
don't know.
tight, man.
I don't know how she works, how she gets around the table, and I'm like, how does this guy rent this space? I'd love to know what the rent is.
I wanted to
Because
ask her. I
it's
was dying to
unbelievable.
ask her. Well, I asked her a couple of questions in regards to it. I'm like, how do you find this? I didn't know they had spaces this small. How do you do that? She goes, I actually had a few options to choose from. I'm like, damn, really? Anyway.
The guy's maximizing his space in that building. She's always there's
probably not
always
cheap.
people there because I know what she drives. I'm not a stalker, but like if I need a gift card, I know she's there, and I'll text her and
Right.
hey, let me know when you're done. I need to come over and get a gift card. And she does, and it's crazy how small her space is.
That's all good.
Oh, you're not.
Kate's ready. Kate doesn't want to come on camera. The traditional little beer shots are going to happen here. More spillage on the carpet. He's got to go quick. We're going to still do this. If we ever have positive weeks, we're going to keep doing this? The
Well,
shots?
Yeah, you're gonna explain it again? Why we?
Oh no, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, we're
I
just-
knew about Little Beers from a while ago. Dan discovered a place called Betty's Bar. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Football's back. So, yes.
Does it? You want to tell everybody what's in a little beer?
Liquor 43 and heavy cream on top to make it look like it has the head of the beer. That is as simple as that. So we've decided that heavy cream makes everything better. Food, drinks, everything like that. I think the other night when Dan was here, and our traditions where Dan usually shows up on Wednesdays, doesn't change really after our shooting ends or after the Super Bowl.
That's because we have to practice the drinking we do.
Yeah, we do. We do. He comes
Get out of
over.
shape.
My wife's a big pusher of the little beer shots. So anyway, I think I did a mango habanero. heavy
Yeah,
cream
we
one
did
in
do
there.
that.
Oh, that's some stuff there. So anyway, I don't know if we're gonna have all these great stories. I mean, well, Dan, you're basically an empty nester now, right?
No, not yet. Delaney's still at home. They do have a bid or whatever. They're signed up for an apartment, her and her boyfriend. So yeah, soon we will be.
Yeah. Go on. I'm sorry.
Tyler just moved. He transferred from Akron to OU.
There you
Moved
go.
him in. He's having a blast down there.
Yeah, I got 3 kids in college this year. Connor's a junior at Ohio State, Keaton freshman at Ohio State, Gavin freshman at Kent State. The August Bills were stiff.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So I don't know if we're gonna have the stories. I don't even meet
Worse
kids
than
around here.
Christmas.
I'm gonna have some good dog stories. I don't know. I mean, the dogs are still here. We still have all 3 of the dogs. They actually went to the vet today. Oakley, who has taken quite a liking to Dan. Our youngest and biggest dog had a double ear infection, so they went to the vet, and Katie took them all, and they got their shots or whatever it is, heartworm shots and things like that. So, but meanwhile, Katie comes back and tells me all about this, which is just fine. And they apparently referred to our middle dog Tucker as Jiggly. I mean, I know.
Jiggly.
Yeah, I know he gets some table scraps and maybe like slightly overweight, but damn, you better be a fucking family member to call my dog.
Jiggly.
I was not very happy.
Holy hell.
I'm like, what do you mean they fucking called him Jiggly? So,
Wow.
I mean, that's a pretty heavy insult right there, I think. So anyway, that happened. I don't know. Summer happened for us. I mean, we both went on vacations, things like that. I'm sure all that good stuff will come up. So Labor Day.
Wait, where'd you go?
Hilton Head again. We always go to Hilton Head.
Anything burned down when you were there?
Nope. And that story never even got told. And we're going to save it still. I don't know. It's not going to happen on the show. We're running along on this intro already. So
That's the best damn part.
some people think so. I don't know. I like talking football. Labor Day weekend's coming up. That's why I'm wearing my shirt. Dan's obviously wearing his team's colors.
It's summer. I'm putting the Hawaiian shirt on, baby.
Speaking of that, man, it's been I've never seen our grass so green here in Northeast Ohio in August. I mean, it's been a pretty cool summer for the most part.
Oh, well, we had a lot of rain last week with some big storms that rolled through here. Nothing like the hurricane that's coming. So, if you're down
I don't know what that word is.
Celia?
Yeah, it's a bizarre name. So
If you're down there, protect yourself and your family.
Tampa area. So my buddy Shane's down there. We got a few people down that area. We'll see how it shakes. Yeah, it's always kind of a nervous time down there in South Florida. I mean, I think the other tropical storms, like why we haven't heard them, I think they're off the West Coast and things like that. I'm not positive. I think that's why we don't hear about like.
Well,
I'm like,
yeah,
where the hell? What happened to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H?
I don't know.
I think they're West
we're
Coast
already
stuff. I
on
think that's why we don't hear
Yeah,
them.
there was that Lake Mead got some water in L.A. and maybe they washed all the homeless people and all that shit away. San Francisco, they cleaned the street with a hurricane. That'd be good.
Stop. We got plenty of time for all that. Labor Day weekend, you got big plans, Dan? What do you do?
No, I was shocked. Before the show when we were talking, I was like, holy shit, that's this weekend.
It is. I love it. One of my favorite holiday weekends, celebrating the American workforce, which is awesome. Dan and I are both part of that. So.
Well, I'll tell you, my wife's all jacked up because Thursday night is the Michael Stanley tribute band down at Gervasi's.
You going?
No, I'm not going. I didn't get a ticket to that.
Oh,
It's
okay.
her and all her high school friends. I mean, there's people coming from Columbus and stuff going to this.
Now, is Michael Stanley just he's a local dude from Akron.
totally low. Cleveland. He's Cleveland guy.
Like, nobody knows him in Illinois or Michigan or New York or anywhere, right?
Probably not. I
Right?
mean, Michael Stanley.
The
He's
big
got some
following
good
here.
songs, but he passed away.
Oh, he
And-
did?
Yes, Michael
Oh.
Stanley passed away. So this tribute is actually his band with a different lead singer.
Ah, no bueno.
So they're all
I think
jacked
that's no
up.
bueno. I don't know. I shouldn't probably say that before I hear things. So anyway, we're gonna talk a little bit about football before we get into actually picking all this stuff. Unless you got other stuff you want to talk about.
Well, what about your new toy? You don't want to talk about that?
My lawnmower,
Yeah.
as my wife calls it, Princess Fiona's, because it's like this NASCAR like neon green. Yes, I was dissatisfied with my lawn service from last year. Unreliable. I didn't think they did a very good job. So I went out and purchased a zero-turn mower, small one, like 34 inches. Man, I didn't want too big. It
It's
doesn't
crazy
take
how
up.
small
I
that
keep on
thing
seeing it.
is.
Look over there. It's right parked right over there. But I love having it. I don't mind doing it. I traditionally mow on Thursdays, but I mowed twice this week in the spring. You know, sometimes you want to mow twice, type of thing. So I
Just think
enjoy
of
having
that.
it.
You mowed twice in the month of August.
What? No.
That's what you just said.
No.
This-
I meant to say twice this past week.
Yeah. That would never happen in a normal August here.
No, oh yeah. Dan's right. Yeah, usually don't even need to mow
Yeah.
in August for the most part. So, and I mowed twice this past week. So just to keep things from getting too shaggy, and that's the benefit you have when you don't have a service dog. That's all good. I also bought a Fender guitar this year. My goal when I bought it, which was in June, was to be able to be competently able to play a song on the show.
Yeah, we
That's
wanted a theme
fucking
song.
hard,
At least
man.
I did.
The guitar is so fucking hard. Oh my god, I haven't picked it up in a few weeks. Even a couple of the kids
Man,
here
that's
play
how you
guitar.
hurt
They
your
play
neck.
electric guitar, but I play shit. No, it isn't. I haven't put enough time into it. Man, the finger stuff, it's difficult. So, but those were a couple of things that happened over the summer here for myself. So, football stuff. I mean, I don't know. We don't mean rule changes. I'll tell you that much. The biggest rule change is that if you fair catch the ball on kickoffs anywhere inside the 25-yard line, wave your hand. You start at 25. Wherever you catch it, start on that hash, which isn't the biggest deal.
So what if I catch it in the end zone? Where do I start?
25. But if you catch it at the 20, you also start at 25. And wave the. So there's really not a whole lot of rule changes. There wasn't. Compared to last year at least, there wasn't that much player movement. The biggest one is like Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets for sure. And then you have Derek Carr, he's the new quarterback in New Orleans, and we're going to get into all this. DeAndre Hopkins, a Titan, DJ Moore's a Bear, all that good stuff. We had the gambling suspensions that happened.
How stupid are these guys?
I agree. My father-in-law Tom is like, it's so hypocritical of the National Football League to suspend these guys. I'm like, no, it's not. Like you can't
Bet on your game or your sport. I mean,
yeah, I don't
plain and simple.
certainly can't bet on your team, your game.
that's
But
just stupid.
you can't fuck with the integrity of the game at all. And it's a slippery slope for sure. No, I have no problems with it. I'm paying you $5, $10, $15 million a year. I say you can't bet. If they tell me that, I'm like, okay, I won't bet.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. It's not that hard. To piss away a livelihood like that or a suspension like that is nuts. Speaking of that, Calvin Ridley comes back. He's like almost a new guy. Remember, he got the whole year
Yeah.
suspension for game, like crazy stuff. So, this is our first season without Tom Brady.
Oh my God, what are we gonna do?
That would be 1999 is the last time that the league has not seen Tom Brady play football.
Wow.
Like, that's just insane. But I don't think that's the biggest retirement. The biggest retirement to me, Jerome Boger, the shitbag referee. I took all kinds of issue with Jerome Boger over the years. He retired, thankfully for me. God, was he a pain in my ass. Anyway, we had 5 coaching changes. We'll get into all that good stuff. The running back market was a topic. There's a lot of throwback uniforms too. I mentioned I wrote that on the board. You see all the different throwback uniforms that we're going to see throughout the year? You haven't noticed it? Anyway, like almost every team has them now. So we'll see all kinds of probably wild uniform combinations this year. So other than that, I think we're on to picking these games, or not picking the games, picking these divisions and conference winners and all this other good stuff. You ready?
Yep.
You want to start AFC or NFC?
I don't care. You go. What do you want to do?
The NFC sucks compared to the AFC, if you
Okay,
ask
so
me.
let's blow through the NFC first.
Blow through it. We're going to start with the NFC East, which I think is a very competitive division. That is
For shitty teams.
I don't know. It's the Washington Commanders, the New York Giants, the Dallas Cowboys, and the defending NFC champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. Washington, new quarterback. Sam Howell, second year in the league. He sat on the bench last year.
Not impressed.
Eric Bieniemy is the play caller there.
Fantastic.
So we'll see.
We'll
Ron
see how
Rivera
he
is a
does.
coach. I think
New ownership. These guys aren't going to be around. I don't expect Washington to do anything. They got an issue with what's his name, the defensive end. They didn't sign
Chase Young?
5-year take his option.
Oh, Chase, yeah.
I mean-
you got to see, man. He's been dinged up quite a bit. I don't know.
So why wouldn't you take the 5-year option if you haven't seen?
Why would you?
Why wouldn't you?
I think it's a pretty big gamble because I think it's a big number if the guy is not healthy. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Chase Young looks like.
They're a mess.
I saw a little bit of preseason. I thought Sam Howell looked okay. I don't know. Maybe they'll be okay. I mean, obviously, it's a new year. Everybody has optimism. The New York Giants, year 200, Brian Dable. Obviously, they
Sophomore year, going to have troubles.
sophomore slump.
Yep.
Obviously, the Giants made the playoffs last year. Brian Dable.
Razzle dazzle, goofy shit.
Speaking of the 5-year thing, the contract thing that comes up, they gave Daniel Jones a contract.
Yeah, they gave him a contract.
I don't
and
know.
They figured out Saquon too.
Yeah, Saquon, the running back market, Jesus. You talk about some disgruntled people, and I get it. I mean, I get it. You know, back in the day, the key piece to an offense was the running back. It is no longer that league. It is a passing league. It's
Yeah.
quarterback. It's wide receivers. I mean, you'll even see it on the fantasy football players. They know that. They're like, running backs get drafted after wide receivers now, which used to never, ever, ever happen. So we'll see how the Giants do. They added Waller, who's a tight end, but is almost like really like a receiver from the Raiders.
Shocked by the Raiders why they got rid of him. That was probably one of the best things the Raiders had, and they
drafted our Notre Dame guy,
Yeah, I know. but-
Mega Mayer. Darren Waller, I mean, he's almost like a big wide receiver. He really is. He's about the size of A.J. Brown. So, anyway, and then Dallas, the team that's always hyped. Always hyped.
Oh, yeah.
America's team.
Alabama Cowboys. They're not America's team.
Dan always bitches
No
because
way.
they're always on national television.
No way. This whole division's always on. That's a Sunday night game on the first weekend of the season. We got Dallas playing at New York.
Really? You know that for sure?
Giants, yes.
Let
I was pissed.
Dan ahead of the schedule. So, that's good. They added Brandon Cooks, a wide receiver. They added Stephon Gilmore, D-back. These are just changes that they made, but they've always been so hyped. But
How about Trey Lance?
okay.
What's that say to your quarterback going, hey, yeah, we think you're the guy, maybe.
What do you think about Dak Prescott? I'm not impressed by Dak Prescott.
No, I'm not impressed by him and Trey Lance. I mean, if Shanahan was ready to give up on him, then there's an issue with that dude.
Well, the 49ers said they were blown away by the offer for Trey Lance from the Cowboys, which means that they didn't get anything but maybe fifth, maybe sixth, and they got a fourth from the Cowboys. But I still don't think it's a bad gamble either. I mean, we'll see. I
don't think it's a bad gamble, but
quarterbacks don't
49ers
fall off trees. Not that I'm saying he is one.
the 49ers used a lot of draft capital to get that dude.
Maybe the worst trade that goes down in National Football League history. They gave 3 number 1 picks.
Yeah.
Some things don't change. The sticky koozies or the sticky coasters. They gave 3 number 1 picks to the Miami Dolphins
Yeah,
for
that's
the
insane.
right to draft Trey Lance. And I don't know what they all turned that into. Like a lot.
That beer's gone.
One of them was Tyreek Hill. That was quick. One of them was Tyreek Hill. One of them ended up being Bradley Chubb. And I don't know if 2 ended up being the other one or not. I'm not positive. My in-laws will certainly correct me. But anyway, that's another story. We're on to Philly. Philadelphia. Defending NFC champs. Super balanced team. They got, I think Devontae Smith is going to become a superstar this year.
Back to my great American beer, Bud Light. Just because.
Now, is that a lager or a Pilsner? Now that we're drinking Pilsner.
It's a beer.
No, you don't know?
Do you think
Budweiser's a lager,
you
but is
think-
Bud Light a Pilsner?
Do you think queers don't drink other beers? I mean, I don't understand what the big deal was.
Dan's alluding to, I think, the
Dylan Mulvaney, whatever.
the advertising campaign for Bud Light that went tremendously bad. So
Yeah, well, I'm pissed because I didn't get my picture on a can, but I'm still going to drink the beer.
you got your picture before the show doing some weird stance. Actually, what was really happening there, Dan had a hip problem. He was trying to flex his hips. But we had quite a few drinks that night, I'm sure. That's why Dan ended up with a breathalyzer. Anyway, if you saw the on top of the cage pictures, the countdown pictures, that was one of them. Back to Philadelphia, defending NFC champs.
They had a great draft too. I mean, Philadelphia.
It's like Georgia North. I mean,
Yeah.
the previous year they had
insane.
drafted Jordan Davis and Nolan Smith, and this year they draft Jalen Carter, Nakobe Dean, Kaylee Ringo, defensive back. I mean, they have so many Georgia defensive players on that team.
Yeah. So are we picking who wins this division?
Yeah, who's gonna
now?
win this division?
Philly.
I think you're right. I think it's competitive.
It's not going to be.
I mean,
competitive.
Dallas has talent. They do. We'll see about the Giants and Washington. But yeah, I don't think there's any other way to go in this particular division outside of Philadelphia. So, and we'll see how that shakes out when we go conference picks, Super Bowl picks, good things like that. So, next division up is the NFC North. That is my Chicago Bears division. That houses the Green Bay Packers, the Detroit Lions, the Chicago Bears, and the Minnesota Vikings. I think this is a sneaky good division. I really do. I think it's a good
Sneaky good?
division. Yes, I do. People don't maybe
Sounds
think
like
a
you've
lot
been
about
drinking
this
Bud Light.
division, but let's talk about this. We're going to start with the Packers first. Finally, Jordan Love gets his chance to play. Aaron Rodgers is now a Jet. I think we briefly mentioned that earlier in the show. But he gets to play. They have a wide receiver named Christian Watson, who I think is going to become a superstar in the league. I think what we're really going to see is how good a coach Matt LaFleur really is.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I think Aaron Rodgers was kind of calling the shots over there to an extent, based upon his tenure, his seniority, things like that, the way he wanted things to run. I think we're going to find out about Matt LaFleur. But in preseason, much to my chagrin, it looked like Jordan Love can fucking play. I hope that he's not the quarterback in Green Bay for the next 15 years like it's been with like Brett Favre and then Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully it's not Jordan Love for the next 15 years. Nothing against you, Jordan. But fuck, man, that would be a kick in my balls. The betting favorite in the NFC North is the Detroit Lions. And I know that, well, not only from looking it up, but also they are the opening game on Thursday Night Football in Kansas City. The defending champs always have the home opener. And they picked, out of all the teams that they could have played or could have put on the TV, they picked the Detroit Lions. So they think a lot of the Lions. The Lions won 8.
Who's they? The NFL?
Yeah. The NFL and NBC. Yeah. Together, they made that decision. And it's Detroit. So they think a lot of this football team. Like I said, they won 8 out of their last 10 games. They missed the playoffs because they had a horrible start. It came down to Seattle getting in and them out on that last week of the season. I mean, but we'll see.
I'm a Matt Campbell fan. You're a Matt Campbell fan.
Dan Campbell.
Oh, yeah.
Matt Campbell's actually from around here. He's from Canton. Did you know that?
Isn't he a player, though? Am I thinking
Matt Campbell is the coach of Iowa State.
Oh, yeah. He went to Mount Union. That's who I'm thinking.
Yeah. He's a North Canton guy or Glen Oak guy or something. I don't know what it was. Right down south from us. So, but the National Football League in Vegas, like Detroit, based upon last year, I don't like their statue quarterback. I mean, but anyway, they got some pieces. They're obviously a good team. And then my Chicago Football Bears are up next. This is Fields' third year. The Bears won the lottery with getting the first pick in the draft. They parlayed it into DJ Moore. Quite a few picks. Justin Fields, he kind of emerged last year, certainly as a runner. The passing has to step up. The Baby Bears, we'll see. I think they're a good young football team. We'll see how it goes. And then you got Minnesota kind of running it back with Kirk Cousins and whatever they got going on over there.
Get rid of Dalvin Cook.
They won so many. I mean, I picked Minnesota to win this division last year, and I was right. But they won so many games by like one score.
Right, they lucked out.
So we'll see. Who's going to win this division, Dan?
Chicago.
Yeah, you believe that?
Yeah.
Chicago has one of the youngest rosters in the National Football League. I think the Baby Bears arrive a year early as well. I think they win this division. I do.
I don't think this division is very good.
I do.
I don't.
I think
Based
Detroit
on
and Green
preseason
they're all
is
good.
so full of shit.
Name a shitty team in that division.
They're all shitty.
No, fuck off. No, you want to talk about a shitty division? You ready for a shitty division, Dan?
The next one.
Let's do the NFC South.
But that division, no, they blow. Chicago is going to be the.
I would like to know what your adjective is for this next division, then, which is
that's fucking
New Orleans, Tampa, Atlanta, and Carolina.
That's like when you go into the porta potty after a Notre Dame USC game at Notre Dame and look down.
I am going to that Notre Dame Ohio State game. We'll talk about that more as it comes up in late September, courtesy of my buddy Ronnie, who will watch the show, I'm sure, from my hometown. But New Orleans, Tampa, Atlanta, and Carolina. New Orleans, they start with a new quarterback this year. Derek Carr is going to be the quarterback, ex-Raider quarterback. The rest of it looks the same. I don't know. I mean, I think we could probably go through this division fairly quickly.
Is that receiver playing?
Michael Thomas?
Yeah. Or is he hurt again?
He's healthy right now, and we'll see. I mean, he's kind of been ouchy the last year or two, I think.
Kamara's out because he got suspended.
I think he's got maybe four
beating up
games?
somebody in Vegas.
Vegas Pro Bowl. Yeah, I think that's right. Tampa. Baker Mayfield is the winner of the quarterback competition in training camp in Tampa right now over Kyle Trask.
He'll play great in one game and then.
But they have a really aging team now.
Yeah, no, they're a mess. They're similar to the LA Rams. They went all in to win a Super Bowl.
They are.
They're going to suffer it.
That is the next division up. Atlanta's the other team. Next team we're going to talk about in the NFC South. Desmond Ridder takes over as the full-time quarterback. They drafted Bijan Robinson. I mean, we talked about how watered down the running back market is for paying them. Drafting, people don't get drafted high either, except for this cat. He got drafted high, and probably rightfully so. I mean, he's been pretty impressive in the preseason too. I want to say he got drafted 8th overall, if I'm not mistaken.
If he's good, they're going to have to hand him the ball because Ridder was good at Cincinnati. The conference they played in, I don't think, was the greatest, so the talent wasn't there. I mean, Ridder, I think the jury's still out on him.
100%.
Second-year quarterback.
But 2 second or third-year players. Second year for sure for Drake London, a great receiver out of USC. And then you got Kyle Pitts there, who still has never emerged.
Right.
And then you have Carolina. Carolina paid the bounty to the Chicago Bears, moved up from number 9 to number 1 for the rights to draft Bryce Young, the quarterback out of Alabama. They are starting new Frank Reich, the ex-Indianapolis coach, is their new head coach there. He is an ex-quarterback as well, so probably a good choice if you're going to draft quarterback 1 overall. It makes a lot of sense.
Wasn't impressed with him, though, in Alabama.
Bryce?
Yeah.
He's little.
Right.
He has poise. He's looked okay in preseason. The offensive line is a huge problem in Carolina.
Huge.
So, I mean, he's gotten beat up, and he's not big. I mean, he might be 5'10" at best. So, we'll see if he can stay healthy. But, I mean, hopefully for them, he's the right guy. Me, selfishly, as a Chicago Bear football fan who has Carolina's number 1 pick next year, I hope Bryce Young gets hurt and can't play the rest of the season week 1. No career ending, nothing like that. But anyway, selfishly, I hope that team tanks. I don't know if they will, but they obviously have some holes to fill, and they gave a lot of draft capital to the Chicago Bears. We went through all 4 of these teams, Dan. Who's going to win this division?
Oh, my God.
Favorite's got to be New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans. Has to be, but again, they're not. This isn't a great division. I mean,
you said the Bear division was horrible.
What are you going to say about this division? 2 divisions, we might have a winner with a losing record.
I got a surprise pick for this division.
Okay.
And Dan and I are together for the first 2. You want me to go?
Yeah.
I think it's the Atlanta Falcons. I think Desmond Ridder plays okay or good. And I think Bijan takes on the load. I think Drake London takes a huge step forward. I think Kyle Pitts takes a step forward. We'll see about the defense. I like the Dirty Birds to win this division.
That's fine, but see, this is why you take a running back in the first round, run the hell out of him, and then don't give him another contract.
It sucks for them. It sucks. Like, if I'm a high school kid and I'm a running back, I'm like, I want to switch to wide receiver or D-back or safety.
No, get your NIL money in college, and then don't play in the NFL.
There's a lot of that, man. There's a lot of that. Holy shit. The NIL money is pretty insane in college football.
Screw that.
So we're not picking a game tonight. It's not like last year's slate for college football in the opening week when it was highlighted by Notre Dame and Ohio State, but there were a lot of good games. There's one really good game. It happens to be on Sunday, but we'll talk about it later. Dan, who's your pick for the NFC South?
New Orleans.
Yeah, they're the favorite. I mean, they're the favorite. They were probably the best team. Well, who won that? Tampa last year because of Brady? But Brady's not there. I don't know. It's a shitty division. Dan's not wrong about that. I like the surprise pick of Atlanta. I think hopefully the Falcons take a step forward. Hope I'm right. I don't know. Let's go to another not great division. Really.
Holy hell.
I mean, there's a couple of. There's a good team.
What is going on in Arizona?
There's a good team. There's a decent team and two awful teams in this division. It is the NFC West. It is the Arizona Cardinals, the Seattle Seahawks, the San Francisco 49ers, and the Los Angeles Rams.
What's the injury to what's his name? Kyler
Murray? Kyler Murray, I don't know.
Freaking
I forget what
gaming hand get hurt?
Shit. He's on the PUP list. Arizona's a new coach. It is the defensive coordinator from Philadelphia, Gannon.
Yeah, that's perfect for.
Here, I don't think that Kyler Murray is going to play another down. I don't think for the Arizona Cardinals. I don't think he plays this year. I don't. I think they're in full tank mode.
That's what I'm saying. What's his injury?
I don't know. I can't remember what it is.
I don't know either.
I don't know if it's leg or what it is. But I've heard rumors that there's a chance that he doesn't play the entire year.
Jeez.
And what's the use if you go 2-6 or something like that to bring him back or whatever the situation is. So, but that's Arizona.
They just gave him that huge contract.
Colt McCoy got cut. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be there. There's
Josh Dobbs.
Who the
They
Browns?
traded.
Yeah, him or there's a guy named I think his last name is Thune, Thune. I don't know, but it's obviously when we don't know who the fucking quarterback is in Arizona to start the season. That means you're not good. I mean,
So wait,
really
are they
not good at all.
Are they going to tank again and try and get that kid from USC?
Mm-hmm.
So they've
College football season is not really started. We have week 0.
Who did they take? Who was the one? The
Houston traded with Arizona in the
who was
draft.
the guy before Murray? Rosen.
Josh Rosen?
Rosen. They got Rosen and then got Murray.
Bust.
And then they're trying to get the USC kid now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Jeez.
Obviously, I mean, it's a quarterback's league, man. You got to pick the right one. Every year there's boom or bust. At one point in time, I jot things down during the summer and said boom or bust on quarterbacks.
Well, that's like when the Browns drafted Colt McCoy in the 4th round. People around here were like, he's the next quarterback. And I'm like, he was in the 4th round for a reason.
Right.
That dude's not your franchise quarterback at all.
No, I hear you.
And
I hear you.
How long has he survived in the league? I mean, that dude's made millions of dollars being a friggin' backup.
Who?
Colt McCoy.
He's not in the league anymore.
I know, but
Cut. Finally, I agree. Like, ridiculous. The best example of that is Jim Sorgi, who held a clipboard for like fucking 12 years.
I would do that.
Yeah,
What the
Peyton
hell?
Manning, like multi-millionaire. Get the fuck out of here. I want that job.
Blaine Gabbert.
We're so... Yeah, there's all kinds of these guys. They're dime a dozen, man. Backup quarterback is the best job in the National Football
No
League.
shit.
You're not sore when you go home, on Sunday?
Right.
Yeah. No,
Damn, I gotta go
I
in.
feel perfectly great, honey. Let's go out to dinner. I just collected my $800,000 paycheck for the week.
Yeah.
So, anyway, maybe that's a little strong. They don't get paid that much, but it's probably, there's 17 weeks. That's how they get paid. So let's say they're making $5 million. Math is hard.
Yeah,
My $400,000 paycheck? I don't know. Anyway, Arizona, obviously, I don't think it's going to be competitive this year. I think Dan agrees with that. Seattle's the next team up, and they were a playoff team last year. They got the last spot. I would have rather seen the Lions go into that playoff spot. I think they've been more competitive. Geno Smith had a great year last year. Kind of a reclamation project. I mean, remember how long Geno Smith got drafted by the New York Jets?
Geno
It
Smith.
seems like
Geno
forever.
Smith. I don't.
So they got a
expect
pedestrian
him-
quarterback. They had Devin Witherspoon to make. They have a great defensive backfield. I think they have a pretty good defense. They added Jackson Smith and Jigba, a good wide receiver. I think he's a slot guy more than anything.
And he's
quick,
out?
He's fast. He's in. No, he's gonna be up.
He's out.
He's been out for the preseason, but he's up.
No, I thought he's supposed to have surgery on a wrist.
He did. They did not put him on the inactive list already for week 1 or anything like that. So I think he's
Now
gonna play. I don't know that.
there's something about that. I just read an article about this for the Browns, and those young players, they have to put them on the roster, and there's a time when you can then put him on the PUP list.
Oh, okay.
So he's
Basically,
going on the
unable
PUP
to play
list.
is what Dan's referring
Smith and
to.
Jigba, he ain't playing for 4 or 6 weeks.
I think Dan's wrong. I think he plays week 1, but
No.
we'll have a much.
He ain't playing, and this is why I said before he shouldn't have been a number 1 pick.
Oh, I think so.
No,
I do.
Ain't no way.
I do. That guy's got quickness. He's got speed.
Book it. He's a bust.
He's crap. No way. Let's play boom or bust. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. Who the other guy I'm missing?
I'm saying this one's a bust.
All right, fine. Well, let's do the quarterback boom busting because it happens every year. The San Francisco 49ers. Brock Purdy's quarterback. Remember at the end of the year, or the playoff game in Philadelphia. I mean, they were on their 3rd string quarterback, which is Purdy, who comes in and takes kind of the team by storm and plays like super well. Wins the job. They got a number 1 pick that they traded 3 number 1s for on the roster to go up to number 2 in the draft in Trey Lance. But it's Brock Purdy, not only the 7th round pick, Dan, Mr. Irrelevant. I'll take the other masthead because I'm going to run out because we're talking forever. That's why we start, and do the season prediction show to work out the Kings because I guarantee this show's way too long. But in any event, Brock Purdy's the quarterback there. He's healthy. He's a system quarterback, if you will. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, he fits perfect.
Kyle Shanahan's system, right?
Yeah.
So we got Brock Purdy there, and they got a great defense. I love Kyle Shanahan. I think he's the best creative offensive mind in football. They did lose their defensive coordinator to the Houston Texans, DeMeco Ryans, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Or I guess we passed them already. We did. No, they're on the other side of things. Oh, Jesus. How is that possible?
I don't know.
Did you throw the beers around?
I didn't. I just pulled it out.
Anyway. And then we got the LA Rams, just an old team. Matthew Stafford's a quarterback, obviously. They're just an old team. Their window's closed. They made it to the Super Bowl. They won their Super Bowl. They did their thing.
But
I'm surprised Sean McVay hasn't walked away.
2 years ago, they were, this is the future of the NFL. This is the future of the NFL. How their teams are going to get rid of their draft picks, and that, Les Snead was like, fuck those draft picks. Yeah. Now you're going to be shit. And you got a quarterback that I think's a douche anyways.
Yeah, that's
good. I love it for him.
They have to start over. They're going to.
I guarantee you, he gets hurt early and doesn't play the rest of the year.
And I don't know.
Cash and checks.
I don't think they have anybody, that really has that type of potential at quarterback 2 or 3. I really don't. So
that team blows.
They're going to go into remote or whatever you want to say, starting over basically from scratch.
They're going to suck for years.
I don't know another way to go with this division, Dan, but we're
San Francisco.
Yeah, I agree too. Dan and I are on Philadelphia, Chicago. Surprisingly, Dan's on Chicago to me. I'm on Atlanta, Dan's on New Orleans, and we are both on the San Francisco 49ers. You got other teams you like out of this thing that might end up in the wild card, things like that? Because we got 4 out of the 6 that make it.
I mean, a wild card, Seattle will be in there.
You think
Minnesota,
Seattle?
They'll make the playoffs.
I think one of the NFC East teams, maybe Dallas, maybe one of the others, comes out as a wild card. I don't think it's going to come out. I don't think it's going to be Seattle. I think it's going to come out of the Bears division, and it's going to be Green Bay, Detroit, Chicago, or Minnesota. Any one of those 4 teams. I think one of those come out as a wild card. Who's your NFC representative, Dan? Super Bowl.
San Francisco. I think that's 2 years in a row.
It's very boring, but I don't know how you get past Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, they were the runner-ups last year. They made the Super Bowl. I don't know how you get past them. I think they have the best
those are going to be the last
balanced
teams.
Football team out there. But damn it. That's what's so sexy about the National Football League. Like, teams surprise the shit out of you every year.
Oh, yeah.
And teams disappoint the shit out of you every year. So, Dan's on San Francisco. I'm on Philadelphia as our Super Bowl representative. We are on to, I think, a little bit more fun than AFC because there's quite a few divisions that are pretty good here. And let's start with the AFC East. I think it's a great division, and I think possibly the best division. I think Dan's going to disagree with me. That would be the Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets,
bullshit.
the Miami Dolphins, and the New England Patriots. I have Buffalo slated first to talk about them. And, well, I guess my question with Buffalo. Great football team, right? Josh Allen, great quarterback. Pretty good defense. They lost Tremaine Edmonds to the Bears in free agency. That's probably their biggest loss, if you will. But
Wait, I think their biggest loss is Leslie Frazier.
defensive coordinator.
Yes,
Defensive coordinator.
not a player.
Where'd he go?
I don't think he's.
He doesn't have a head coaching
anywhere.
job?
No, he's not at Buffalo.
He took a lateral move?
Sean McDermott is calling the plays.
He took a lateral
defense.
move.
I don't
Is he in the National Football League at
I
all?
don't think so.
Oh, Jesus. But, I mean, they have a great quarterback in Josh Allen. And over the offseason, we heard that, like, Stephon Diggs is, like, disgruntled. But my thing is Stephon Diggs is why? You got a big-ass contract. You're playing with one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the National Football League. What do you have to complain about?
That was weird. The coach's comments were weird, and then I don't know. What
It seems a little weird. Is it getting stale? Is it getting stale in Buffalo? I mean, if they don't win this year, things are going to get reshaped. I don't know.
New
But that's
owners.
Buffalo. They're a great fucking football team. I don't think there's any way to get around it. And let's talk about the darlings all of a sudden of the AFC East, which
Oh
is going to
my
be the
God.
New York Jets. And you know it's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, I don't know, 37, 38, 39. I don't know how old he is. Fucking old. He's fucking old, but he can play. I don't think there's any two ways about it. They added Dalvin Cook. They have a great defense. Not a good defense, a great defense.
They have an awful offensive line.
You think it's awful?
I think it's
That
awful.
seems a little strong to me.
It's awful.
Yeah. Maybe that's their downfall, not keeping Rodgers upright at he's got a little bit of mobility, but at 37, 38, 39, you're not going to have a whole lot. So if that falls apart, damn, maybe the team falls apart. But damn, do they have a good defense to start with? You had Aaron Rodgers. Garrett Wilson, certified superstar this year. I don't think there's any two ways about it. He's a great route runner. He beats people right and left. I mean, he was the offensive rookie of the year last year with a shitbag quarterback. What is he going to do with Aaron Rodgers? I mean, he's going to put up superstar numbers, I think. And then we talk, my in-laws team, the Miami Football Dolphins. A damn good football team as well. Like a really, really good football team. They added Jalen Ramsey this year. I know he's out early. I think maybe a couple of weeks or so. I think it was a meniscus. I've had a meniscus, both knees actually. I've had those surgeries. Obviously getting up to paying athlete, status is a little bit different than me getting up and being fine and not feeling, pain. So, but with that being said, it all comes down to this team, to his health.
Yeah, no, it's all on Tua. If he can play, they're a different team.
They don't have a QB2 option. They added Vic Fangio. I love Vic Fangio. They have really good defensive team. I mean, I think 2 of the top 3 defensive teams in the National Football League reside in this division, and that's the Jets, Dolphins, and the San Francisco 49ers, who are on the opposite side.
Well,
The Dolphins are a
you should've
really good
included the
defensive team.
Browns.
Oh, Dan's itching to talk about his Browns football team, but I think it comes down to his health. It really does. They have probably the best receiver core. I mean, Cincinnati might put their hand up and say, I have an argument here. But Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, I mean, come on now. It doesn't get too much better than that. And then you have New England, who's going to scratch out some wins here and there, I suppose, because they're a well-coached team. I mean, Mac Jones, I think this is Mac Jones' fourth year?
Third year?
Third year. Yeah, he came out in Justin Fields' job. Third year, I mean, last year was an absolute shit show there.
It was bad.
I mean, Matt Patricia, who's a defensive coordinator, was the offensive coordinator because it's like the Old Boys Network or some
I have
shit
no
like that?
clue.
Because that'll get Bill fucking fired.
Who's the offensive coordinator now?
Bill O'Brien comes back.
yeah,
His
yeah.
second tenure comes from, I think, Alabama. I think his last job was at Alabama. And I think he coached Mac Jones when Mac Jones was at Alabama. So some cohesion type situation there. So maybe he helps Mac Jones, but obviously it's make or break season for Mac Jones. I mean, it's just a team that's probably not going to hurt itself too much because it's fundamentally coached well.
Right.
So they're going to be in games and maybe steal a win here or there. Obviously, they're not going to win this division. Who's going to win it, Dan?
Dolphins.
Much to the chagrin of my in-laws, I think it's the New York Football Jets. I do. I don't.
No
I don't
way.
think it's Buffalo.
Fucking-
I don't think
You're
it's Miami.
such a
I
bandwagon.
think it's the Jets.
There ain't no way it's the Jets.
I fucking hate Aaron Rodgers. You know I hate Aaron Rodgers.
So
I
what?
hate him because they have the best
The
defense.
paper airplanes are going to win?
They have the
We
best.
called them the paper airplanes for 3 years.
We
and
did.
all of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers is there and you're picking them to win? Get out of here.
They have
Ain't no way.
I think they have the best defense in that division.
Tom, you can kick him in the balls when you're here.
And Aaron Rodgers, I mean, if they protect him, he's going to pick people apart with Garrett Wilson
Ain't no way.
And the players he has. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong.
Against what defense in that division is he going to pick them apart? Aaron Rodgers is used to playing in that shitty division with Detroit, Chicago,
Stop
and Minnesota.
calling that division shitty. It's not shitty at all.
He's had the luxury. Detroit, Chicago, and Minnesota have sucked the entire time that Aaron Rodgers has played football for Green Bay.
I'm just glad that fucking.
So now he's in this one, and all of a sudden you're like, oh.
I'm not taking Buffalo. Stop doing that. Stop doing it. It's a family show. Family.
Get out of here.
Neither of us. How about this? Neither of us picked Buffalo.
No, that's going to be a shit show this year with the Diggs thing.
We think it's stale. You think it's stale?
Yeah, and with McDermott calling the defense.
I mean, obviously the Finns are super hungry. The Jets are starving. if Miami's hungry, the Jets are starving. So we'll see. I think the Jets. Dan takes the Dolphins. We're in Dan's division, another really, really good division. I won't bash Dan's division, even though he bashed my Chicago Bears division. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is the Cleveland.
This is the best division in football.
I think it's just short of the AFC East, but that's my opinion.
Get out of here.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati. Obviously, Cincinnati is the AFC, or no. They're the runner-up in the AFC, so the Kansas City Chiefs. But we got Pittsburgh. Let's start with them. Pittsburgh, we're going to go Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati when we talk about these teams. It's Kenny Pickett, year 2 there.
Sophomore slump, baby. Small hands.
Small hands, really?
They got all the
really?
Hype,
That's so stupid.
Come on.
Who's the best coach in that division?
Oh, Tomlin, without a doubt.
Okay, we'll start there. I watched a little bit of the Steelers games in preseason.
You were like, ooh.
They look fucking great. I mean, they look
That's
fucking great.
That's the same thing you said about the Jets.
It's
the same thing you said about Jordan Love. It's preseason.
I tell you what, Kenny Pickett looked poised. He looked really good, dude.
Fine.
Maybe to your chagrin, he looked really good. I think that George Pickens kid has a chance to be a star. They have Deontay Johnson. They have Pat Freiermuth. You know who I'm talking a lot about Steelers. Dave's probably chapping Dan's ass. But they have Najee Harris, the lead running back. But whatever that number 2 guy name is, Jaylen Warren, I like that guy. He's faster, and he fucking punt.
Let's go back to the draft. The Eagles walked out of the draft, in my mind, as the number 1 team. Pittsburgh was second. Pittsburgh had a great draft.
Oh, you're talking about how well their draft went for them.
Yes, and they picked up some players. I mean, is Pickett going to be the guy? Fine. Yeah,
he looked good, man.
He looked good in a freaking preseason game. Big freaking deal.
I
got to play 4 freaking quarters in an NFL game.
I agree.
Not fucking 30 plays.
I agree with the preseason thing, but still, I guarantee you looked way better than Fields did year 2 in preseason. But anyway, I'm starting to become a believer. Cleveland top. Dan's Cleveland Browns are on the board.
We got a new defensive coordinator.
Jim Schwartz. Very polarizing fella.
On the defense. We got to get the kicker thing fixed.
They're a great team on paper.
Yeah, but they've been a great team on paper.
But it all comes down to 4, Dan. It all comes down to 4. 4 didn't look fucking very good last year to me in his half a season or whatever he got.
He looks better this year. Have you watched the games? I mean, you're blowing all these other quarterbacks.
Relax. He didn't look that fucking great, did he?
Huh?
I don't know. Did he look good?
Looked fine to me.
Oh, fine. Fine is not.
I'm not jumping.
Fine is not $275 million guaranteed, Dan. Fine. He better look fucking great. Anyway, it all comes down to 4, and if he looks like he did in Houston,
it comes down to our defense because our defense was shit last year.
Jim Schwartz very polarizing defensive coordinator.
Jacoby Brissett should have walked out of there with more wins than he did last year because our defense freaking blew.
I tell you, think about Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz, think about that. His defense will run through a wall for him, but he's a very polarizing dude. We'll see. I mean, they are a really good team on paper, but there's no 2 ways around it. Does Watson look like the guy he was in Houston, or does he not? And if he does, you guys are in the mix for sure, because it's a very good division. I would say win division, but they're in the mix. This is a damn good division. Baltimore, Lamar. It's all about his health, right? I mean, they had OBJ. They have a good defense.
Big deal, OBJ.
I mean,
I don't know why the dude's famous. One catch. He had one freaking catch and made so much money.
I think it was a little more than that. But still, I understand where Dan's coming from. And obviously, he's approaching the twilight of his career, at least, I guess you should say. Lamar Jackson's electric if he's healthy. I mean, he's such a weapon running the ball. They're always in the mix, Dan.
He doesn't like playing in the cold.
Okay, fine. Yeah, there's no way that team less than an 8-8 team, though, right? Baltimore.
Fine, if they're 8-8, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, they all be 8-8. Cincinnati, they are AFC runner-up last year. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs were the AFC representative and defending champs. They won the Super Bowl. 2 years ago, Cincinnati was in the Super Bowl. Here we go. We got the same cast of characters. Not a whole lot of changes. They don't need to make a lot of changes. They're a damn good football team. You look at Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Baltimore, and Cincinnati. Who has the best quarterback? Cincinnati has the best quarterback. It's Joe Burrow.
I agree with that.
Did he get his contract yet? He's going to break the fucking bank.
I don't know. He's injured.
Right, he doesn't play preseason. Yeah.
He's got a calf injury.
He fakes injuries.
Yeah, I don't know if that was fake.
No, I don't know either. But
We'll see.
obviously they're a good team. They keep on trying to solidify their offensive line to make sure Burrow stays upright. They have great receivers. Great receivers. Maybe next to the Dolphins, certainly the best, or maybe the best, receiving core in the National Football League with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. It doesn't get too much better than that. Very competitive division. Dan?
Is it a question?
Dan's taking the Cleveland Football Browns.
Fuck yeah, I am.
And I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
You're going to pick Cincinnati?
I am.
I picked the Steelers before Cincinnati.
I am, and Dan kind of hit the nail on the head. I don't know why he turned it back to the camera. I think Pittsburgh's going to have a lot to say about this division. I think they are. I think the winner of this division is at best 10-6 because these teams are going to beat the shit out of each other. It could be any of these teams that come out of this division. Really, it wouldn't shock me one bit if you told me Pittsburgh won its division, or Cleveland won its division, or Baltimore won its division, or Cincinnati won its division. It wouldn't shock me one bit.
No.
So I think Pittsburgh is a sneaky good football team this year.
We are going long.
AFC South. It is the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Indianapolis Colts.
Do I need to come back for this?
Yes, you do. The Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans. Two new rookie quarterbacks in this division. That is in Indianapolis and that is in Houston. Jacksonville, legit football team. Trevor Lawrence, I think, solidified himself last year as a very good quarterback. They made the playoffs. They won that awesome wild card game at home against the Chargers, where they were down huge. They get Calvin Ridley back. We haven't seen Calvin Ridley, so I guess in 2 years, if you will, because he was out all last year with his suspension. I like their head coach, Doug Peterson. They're a really good football team. I think Dan can hear me. Indianapolis, crazy owner Jim Irsay says all kinds of wild shit. They have all this black cloud above them with Jonathan Taylor, who's one of the best running backs in the National Football League. They're not going to trade him now. He's going to be on the team. I don't know when he's going to play. But obviously they're going with Anthony Richardson, who is this quarterback that has all these intangibles. An incredible athlete. A big dude. A dude that runs a 4.4. Has a strong arm. Has everything. But I don't know. Does he have it in the National Football League? We're going to find out. They're certainly going to go through their lumps. He has all the measurables. But we'll see what happens. Tennessee, kind of running it back. Ryan Tannehill is going to be the quarterback there. They drafted Will Levis in the second round, top of the second round. So,
and you have the other kid, Malik Willis.
Yeah, he ain't gonna
I'd put him at tailback.
All right, Dan, play boomer bust. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson. I'm gonna leave Will Levis out of the conversation.
Why?
Yeah, he's second round pick.
Well, Will Levis, he looked like a baby in the draft room. Boomer bust with Bryce Young,
C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson.
Man, that's tough because they all play on shitty teams.
I like all of them. I don't know. There's always every quarterback class somebody
I like the
busts.
Richardson kid because of his size.
He's huge. He has a huge
And
arm.
his
He runs
arm.
like the wind.
I don't know how good he is, though. I mean,
Bryce
and
Young.
I thought they were supposed to hide him and not play him so teams couldn't defend him, but I think teams are going to be able to defend him. I think C.J. Stroud is going to be the best out of the three.
Bryce?
Better than Bryce.
No, Bryce Young. What do you think about him?
I don't think he's that good. I mean, he played in Alabama. I don't think he was that good his senior year.
You got a bust, or we go with all booms? 3 booms?
No,
Give me a bust then.
2 busts. Richardson and
Yikes.
Bryce Young.
I'm going to go with a bust in Bryce Young, and it's not because of his talent. I think he's going to be an ouchie quarterback that's not on the field a lot. That's what I think. So anyway, that's so bad. Like, I don't even like saying that shit.
Ouchie?
Anyway, yeah, well, he's so little. He's like 5'9", 5'10". I don't know
Yeah,
how
no,
tall. I mean,
it's the Tua thing.
his frame isn't big. I don't know. He looks like he has all the talent in the world, but we'll see. I don't know. Tennessee, like we said, running back. Houston, we started mentioning this already. C.J. Stroud, new quarterback. Their former great player, DeMeco Ryans, who was a defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, assumes the head coaching position in Houston. Great for him. That's an awesome story.
Yeah, and he fits the mold of like a Dan Campbell or a Vrabel. To me, that's what I think of him as.
You do?
Yeah. So
He doesn't seem that fiery on the sidelines to me.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I love it that he got the gig there. I mean, I think he deserved it after San Francisco's defense played so well under his tutelage. Former player, that's what I love the most about it. Like his best years in the National Football League with the Houston Texans, and he gets to go back there and be the head coach. It's a pretty cool story. So, Dan, who's going to win that division?
I mean, all the hype is on Jacksonville, but I'm almost going to go with Tennessee on this.
Really? There's no way I'm going against Jacksonville. I think they're a really good football team and are going to challenge. I think they're going to challenge for the conference.
I'm taking Tennessee on this.
I think you're nuts. Jacksonville, I think they're a great team. The West, we're on our last division, probably mercifully. I mean, if you're still watching, God bless you. Thank you. It's the Raiders, the Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Broncos. That'll be Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Kansas City, and Denver. We're going to start with the Raiders. The Raiders have Jimmy Garoppolo as their new quarterback. If you ask me, this is probably McDaniel's last stand as head coach. We'll see. They have Michael Mayer, a couple other pieces. I mean, Garoppolo's kind of. It's not. I don't want to call him a system quarterback. I think he's a pretty good quarterback if he stays healthy. He hasn't been able to stay healthy over the last half decade.
The dude's cashing checks, dating freaking strippers.
All right, he's a good-looking fucking dude.
Well, I mean, but come on.
Jimmy Garoppolo's like, wait, Vegas wants me to play quarterback?
Yeah.
The girls are hot out there. Like, yeah, he's a good-looking dude.
I hurt my ankle.
yeah, no. I want to go hang out by the pool at the Mirage.
Yeah.
Whatever else.
No, I think the Raiders are a mess. They got an issue with the running back situation. I feel bad. I mean, the kid
Oh,
down
down the street. Mumford. Thayer Mumford. Right tackle's in the mix for being a starting right tackle. Dates one of the girls right down the street. Or not dates, they're getting married soon. Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I think they're engaged right now and getting married here very soon in Savannah. I don't think I got the invite. But the shitty thing about that, Dan, is Thayer Mumford, who went to Ohio State with Justin Fields, very good friends with Justin Fields. Justin Fields supposedly is going to be in the wedding or be at the wedding for sure. I don't think I got the invite, but I'm not positive. So it's a destination wedding. I was hoping it was going to be here at the banquet center that's connected to our area. I would just crashed it if I wasn't invited. It wouldn't have been a problem.
I'd have crashed it too.
Anyway, so that's the Raiders. The Chargers, very talented football team. I have questions about their coach. I mean, Justin Herbert's a great player.
Coach is the biggest issue with this team.
I agree. If this team does not only if he doesn't only make the playoffs, make a significant move into the playoffs, maybe AFC Championship game, I think he's out. I really do. He's a wild gambler in regards to things. I don't know if he's an X and O's guys. I don't know. I don't know what the locker room looks like. That's hard for us to tell from this point. But they added Quentin Johnson, that big receiver from TCU, to that, receiving core that includes. Who does it include? What's that guy's name? Shit, I'm losing names right now. But anyway, they got a great receiving core. We'll see.
Williams.
Yeah, he's there. And who's the other guy? Oh, fudge. I'm sorry. I wanted to say Keenan McCardle, but Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen.
Yeah.
There you go. Very good. I'm glad I didn't say that. So we'll see. I mean, a talented football team that's kind of like a wild card. Like, who knows what you're going to get from this football team? They can beat you on any given Sunday, like many teams can, but they have enough talent to do it for sure. And then we have the Kansas City Chiefs. They're the defending champs. I mean, here's the thing. There hasn't been a lot of turnover. They had this mishmash thing at wide receiver, but they still have 15 is the bottom line, which is Patrick Mahomes. So, I mean, Andy Reid's a good coach, proven coach.
Matt Nagy's now the offensive coordinator, so that might be their downfall.
Maybe. Matt Nagy's back to his position as offensive coordinator. Well, I guess he wasn't the
offensive
offensive
messing up the Chicago Bears, he's now messing up the Chiefs.
They had one great season. I didn't even talk about that. Denver Broncos, Sean Payton, new head coach there.
How about them? What's the score of that last preseason game? They put 40 up.
On the Rams, I think, something like that.
Grief.
But whatever. Sean Payton, listen, here's might as well make the show longer. Sean Payton, a veteran coach, right?
He's just cashing checks.
Hold on. Coach Saints forever, right?
Yeah.
And then he gets to Denver and he bashes. I know things went horrible for Nathaniel Hackett there.
Yeah.
But really, dude? Really?
Right.
Like, you're going to fucking bash what happened there before? What does that do for you?
Nothing.
He knows better than that, right? I mean, he knows better than that. That's just stupid.
He's there cashing a check.
What does that do for fucking
Russell
anybody?
Wilson is cashing a check.
Is Russ washed?
Screwed. Yeah.
Is Russ a player or is he washed?
Washed.
I don't disagree.
Both of them are washed.
Who's going to win that division?
Well, I'm going with the Chiefs.
Yeah, of course.
How do you not?
All right, here we go. I got the Chiefs. Dan, I both have the Chiefs going up the board. I chose Jacks. Who the fuck did you choose? Tennessee? You're out of your mind.
Cleveland.
I went with Cincinnati, and I think a very competitive division. And Dan went with the Dolphins, and I went with the Jets.
Dang.
I think one of the wild cards certainly comes out of the AFC East, which is Buffalo, New York, the Dolphins, and New England. I think the other one comes out of the North.
3 playoff teams comes out of the North.
I mean, maybe. It could be. Dan, who's your Super Bowl representative?
Cleveland.
Get out of here. Come on, man. This is a real show.
Cleveland.
Cleveland.
I'm picking yeah.
You want to go something wild? Jets. The New York Football Jets. All green Super Bowl.
Oh, my God.
All green Super Bowl. New York Jets.
I hate Aaron Rodgers. I hate it. I should have worn my cheese head over here.
I do hate him. Get out of here.
Good grief.
I had the Jets and Philadelphia in the Super Bowl. Dan, you have really Cleveland. Can you give me a de facto team? What the fuck? That's not happening.
Cleveland and San Francisco.
Jesus Christ.
All right, if it's not Cleveland, if it is not Cleveland,
this show's ridiculous.
if it's not Cleveland, I'm definitely not taking the Jets. I'm not taking Jacksonville either. I'd have to go with the Chiefs. It's either the Chiefs.
That's so boring.
It's either the Chiefs or the Steelers.
Steelers?
Yeah.
Steelers?
Yeah.
Somebody paid to say that?
No.
Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, it may have, who knows? That's why the National Football League has so much allure to it, because you never know what's going to happen. I know this show is wildly long. This show's kind of like so Dan and I can work out the kinks. I promise you it won't be an hour and 20 minutes or whatever the hell it was.
Holy
next
shit.
Week we do. I don't know what it is. I don't know that. I'm guessing right now. But we'll be back next week where the format's a little bit different. Dan and I always talk about our lives. We bullshit. We do a beer review. And we're going to pick all the games.
We had to catch up for like 6 months.
Yeah, it took a while. That's right. Yeah, we had to share our live stories, I guess, a little bit. College football, it's roaring back here. I mean, there's not a great slate this weekend, but it's 100% back. I mean, we had week 0 last week. Notre Dame played Navy. A couple other games happened. I think the marquee game, certainly the marquee game in college football, is actually not played on Saturday. It's played on Sunday. It is the LSU Tigers playing the Florida State Seminoles. I think LSU's ranked 5. I think Florida State's ranked 8th. It's at a neutral location in Orlando, as long as Hurricane I doesn't fuck it up. which I think will be passed by then. But in any event, we'll be back with our normal, type of program. We'll pick all the games against the spread. So I greatly appreciate you tuning in, us working out the kinks, things like that. We'll be back. We'll be better next week. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.